2 days ago, Marvel made a huge announcement about the cast for Avengers Doomsday. 27 cast members, including Robert Downey Jr., and some other names that I'm sure people expected, and some that were very unexpected, like the original X-Men, like Patrick Stewart, Sir Ian McKellen, even Rebecca Romijn and Alan Cumming coming back. But of course, a lot of the discussion was based not only on who they announced in their 5.5-hour long, extraordinarily boring chair stream that they did, but a lot of the attention was focused on who they didn't announce, the characters that aren't going to be in this movie. The most surprising Avengers and Marvel characters not announced for Avengers Doomsday. Hey, look, I think that this movie has so much writing on it for Marvel. It's going to be one of the most, if not the most expensive movie ever made. It has a massive cast. It's going to have to do incredible numbers. And whether people are going to be brought back to the theater for the MCU for this movie, that remains to be seen. However, what's very interesting to me are some of the people that are very upset with these casting announcements, not necessarily because who was brought back, but who was left out. And in their mind, there's just not enough women. Saw this from Cosmic Marvel immediately after the announcement. Marvel Studios has revealed the cast of Avengers Doomsday, and it includes 27 actors. Only 5 of them are women. Grace Randolph was very upset about this. We'll discuss the Avengers Doomsday cast tomorrow, but I will say I really take issue with the lack of female characters. Even with the X-Men, no Wanda, no She-Hulk, no Storm, no Jean Grey, no Captain Marvel, no Agatha. And we get Falcon, but no gay Wiccan? Man, it's weird. It's weird that of the 27 cast members that were announced, only 5 of the characters are female. And look, I think that the people who are still currently and still watching and consuming and loving everything that Marvel puts out, they should maybe be asking themselves, why aren't there more women in this? Now, maybe if you look at the bottom line and the fucking financials for Phase 4 and Phase 5 and all of these characters they tried to shove into everything and how disastrously bad it's ended up for them, maybe that does explain why some of these characters are missing. No one from the Marvels was announced in this at all, the biggest bomb that they've ever had. The Brie Larson fan club is not very happy about no Captain Marvel. Don't expect me to show up to your dumb movies at Marvel Studios. You played dirty to Brie Larson. I hope your movies are a failure. And of course, the Mary Sue, Rachel Leichman, very, very upset about this as well. Avengers Doomsday and barely any girls are allowed? Where were you when Marvel made us watch over 4 hours of chairs? Did you never want to see a director's chair again, or did you miss them? Did you catch the unfortunate lack of women present? The cast of Avengers Doomsday was rolled out as slowly as possible, with each chair taking quite a while to reveal itself. You might have missed some of the names, or maybe you didn't recognize that a lot of the names revealed were men. That's fine. I don't dislike my Marvel boys, but it is surprising given the amount of women in the franchise who are not on this cast list. I want to be fair. There are some women headed to Doomsday. We, of course, have Sue Storm herself, Vanessa Kirby, our new Black Panther, Letitia Wright, news like Rebecca Romijn coming back. My Yelena loving heart is full with Florence Pugh's inclusion, and she didn't have a chair, but it was previously announced Haley Atwell would be part of the cast. Well, that was a rumor, a report that was out there. It wasn't an announcement necessarily. We should make that clear. Looking at the amount of women I have so far listed, you might be thinking I'm being unreasonable asking for more, but that's 1/5 of the cast, with Hannah John Kamen, 5 women to the 20 men, I believe 22 men. Let's get those numbers up there. 22 men announced today. And again, Atwell didn't even get a chair. 1 woman from the X-Men, no Carol Danvers, Monica Rambeau and America Chavez missing, no witches. You guys don't need your new Hawkeye. Don't you see how upsetting this is for fans of the franchise and these characters? A huge team up, and we're back to a small portion of the cast being women, and that's it? Well, look, the simple truth is, a lot of these characters that you just listed out, nobody fucking cares about them. They're not interested in their characters. They don't want to see them again. Now, I can also make that argument for a lot of the cast that was announced for this in general. Of the 27 cast members, you throw in a handful of them out there that, yeah, of course, nobody gives 2 shits about seeing Danny Ramirez back as Falcon. No one gives 2 shits about seeing Simu Liu as Shang-Chi now that he doesn't actually get a sequel to his movie, right? But look, when you look at the last 2 phases of the MCU and what they're setting up, it is very clear that when Kevin Feige in 2018, 2019 said, We want for over half of our heroes and villains to be women in the MCU in the future. That didn't go particularly well for them. There's a lot of reasons for that. The women that they decided to include, the ones that they skipped the line to get these people who had failed comic book runs over and over again, like Miss Marvel, like the Ironheart series we're about to see. These characters who failed in the comics time and time again were pushed to the forefront, and they failed. And now, when this cast gets announced and there's only 5 women, you have a lot of the people who bought into the MCU, despite the fact that it's lost money, despite the fact that it's not performing well, despite the fact they're trying desperately to get their fans back. These people are not happy that there aren't enough women. Out of 27 announced cast members, only 5 are women. That's not just a small number. It's a glaring reminder of how skewed things still are. How does this ratio even happen? Locked replies and hid replies, by the way. You know how it happens? 5-6 years worth of failure. And of your attempt to push a lot of these characters that people were not interested in, and they failed wholeheartedly. That's one of the reasons that this is happening, and it is undeniable. Now, with that being said, and they're even like playing a little bit coy about it on Instagram replies and stuff, there are going to be more people in this movie. There are more people that are going to be in this movie, maybe in smaller roles than some of these main cast members, but they still have some surprises to roll out. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if a handful of those surprises do end up being female characters. But the idea that you have the push towards the MCU, and that's what it was, admitted by Kevin Feige, right, in 2018, 2019, before Infinity War came out, right? That was admittedly what they wanted to do. They tried it. It failed spectacularly. And now they're desperately going for a little bit of a reset here. And you got the people that stood by the MCU, that ate up all this garbage, that watched Echo, that watched fucking Miss Marvel, that wanted to see more of America Chavez. And now they're saying, hey, what the fuck? Where's our payoff? No one cares about those characters. Bottom line. We'll see what happens going forward, but it's been interesting to see the reaction to these announcements, especially from some of the people that have been standing the MCU through all of its failure. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.